Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Pauline Fu. In this video, I will go lecture 1 for Applied Mathematics for Business. The topic for this lecture include natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, variable definition, combining like terms, and rational expressions with variables. So first, what is natural numbers? Those are the whole numbers to counting for objects or people. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. are natural numbers. So if you use natural numbers plus 0 and all the negative whole numbers, that is the integers. So integers have all the natural numbers together with negative whole numbers and 0. So what is rational numbers? If a number can be expressed by a ratio, we said this number is rational number. It is in the form of m over n. M is a numerator, n is denominator. Denominator n cannot be 0. The example of rational numbers include 1 over 2, negative 3 over 7, 46. 46 can be categorized with the natural number. It is natural number, but at the same time, it is also integer because it can be expressed by a ratio 46 over 1. The decimal number 0.17 is an integer because it can be, or is a rational number. It can be expressed by a ratio. Not all numbers can be expressed by ratios. For example, square root of 2. You cannot express this number by a ratio. We call this kind of a number irrational numbers. Other examples of irrational numbers include square root of 7, the third root of 5, and pi. Pi roughly equal to 3.1415. Okay, there are many more digits here. When you do an operations, we have a rule for the operations, the basic order of operations. So we call BAD math. B stands for bracket. We do the bracket first. The most important thing is do the bracket. E stands for exponents. For example, 2 raised to power 3. And D is for division. For example, 4 divided by 5. M multiplication, okay, 2 multiplied by 6. Addition, so 2 plus 5. Subtraction, 8 minus 1. Okay, so for example, if you have this expression, 18 divided by bracket 3 times 2 plus 3, the first step, we need to do bracket. Okay, we copy down the other items. The result of bracket is 6. And now we do the division. Okay, so we do 18 divided by 6. The result is 3, and copy this number here. And finally, we do the addition. Okay. Next, I will introduce variable definition. A variable, it is just a letter to represent an object. For example, X represents your quiz 1 mark, maybe 79 out of 100. So that is X is a variable. Or X can be represent your age. For example, you may be 18 years old or 19 years old. So when you have these letters or variables, you can have an expression. So this is in algebra, we have the terminology like terms means they look similar. For example, 3x, negative 5x, they look similar. They are the like terms. If you do addition or subtraction of those like terms, you only do the numerical coefficients of the like terms. Okay. For example, if you want to do 3x minus 5x, you only, the coefficient is 3 and negative 5. So you do 3, negative 5, followed by x. So the result is negative 2x. Okay. The other example about like terms, 2y squared, negative 5y squared, they are the like terms. Okay. And we call literal coefficients, y squared is literal coefficients. In the previous example, we call x is the literal coefficient x, and the numbers we call numerical coefficients. So in this example, 2, negative 5 are numerical coefficients. Y squared is literal coefficient. So what is the process of adding or subtract like terms is called combining like terms or collecting like terms. So this is example. Collect like terms for this algebraic expression. So first, we identify what items are like terms. So 4c, negative 3c, they are the like terms. For like terms, you only add or subtract numerical coefficients. The numerical coefficients for 4c is number 4. The numerical coefficient for negative 3c is negative 3. And you copy down the c. Similarly, you do another like terms, negative 5d, positive 4d. It is here, negative 5d, positive 4d. Okay, and this is the end result. So next example, 3x squared plus 2.5x squared. Okay. Literal coefficient is x squared. Numerical coefficient is 3 and 2.5 respectively. You only add numerical coefficients and you copy down the literal coefficient x squared, and the result is 5.5x squared. This one is simplification involving brackets. Okay. For example, if you want to simplify this expression, you have a plus sign in front of the second bracket. So when you take away the bracket, you do not change the sign inside the brackets. So this expression becomes 7a minus 2b. Take away the bracket because it is positive sign, the bracket. You do not change the sign inside the brackets. So once you reach this step, you collect like term, 7a plus 4a, that is 11a, and another like term, negative 2b, negative 5b, is negative 7b. So this is the end result. Okay. So now let's look at this example. In this expression, you have a negative sign in front of the bracket. When you have negative sign in front of bracket, you need to change the sign inside the sign of the items inside the bracket. So this one becomes, take away the bracket, the first bracket, nothing changed because you do not have negative in front of the bracket. But when you take away the second bracket, you need to change the sign of the terms inside the bracket. So positive 2c becomes negative 2c. Negative 3d becomes positive 3d. And now you collect like terms. 4c, negative 2c, it is 2c. Negative 5d, positive 3d, negative 2d. That's it. So multiplication of monomials. What is an anomial? Anomial is an expression with just one item, one term. Okay, for example, 3x, 2b, those are monomial, just have one term. Okay, those are examples of monomial. When you do the product of two or more monomials, it is usually just do the numerical coefficients. Okay, for example, 5 multiplied by 3a. You just do the numerical coefficients, 5 multiplied by 3, and copy down the a, the final result, 15a. Next example, negative 7a multiplied by 4b. You just do numerical coefficients. So negative 7 multiplied by 4 and copy down the literal term coefficient. And the result is negative 28ab. Last example, negative 3 multiply 4x multiply negative 5x. Okay, just do the numerical coefficients. Negative 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5 should be have a bracket here, negative 5. Okay, and then x times x equal to x squared. And the result of numerical coefficient is 60. Okay. So let's look at multiplication of monomials with polynomials. So what is a polynomial? Polynomial is an expression with more than one term. For example, 2x plus 4x squared. This is a polynomial because it has two terms. So let's look at this example. This one is a polynomial because it has two terms. If you want to take away the bracket, you just multiply 5 to each items inside the bracket. Okay, and you get this result. So for next one, negative 4 multiplied by this polynomial. and you use -4 multiply each item inside the bracket. Each item inside the bracket, and pay attention to sign. Okay, so you get this result, and then you do collect. You see, is there any like terms? No, because you have -12 x squared plus 8x plus 4. Okay, so this is the simplest format already. You just take away the bracket, you get this final result. Okay. Same idea apply to this one here. You just use 3a multiply each item inside the bracket. Okay, use 3a multiply every item inside the bracket, and you get this result. So this one is, if you have two polynomials and you want to do the product of two polynomials, and what you do this. Take the first item in the first polynomial, use this one, multiply by this one. Okay, so you get this item. And next, you take the second item in the first bracket, multiply by the second bracket. You get these items. And now, you have, we did this kind of question in the previous slide, and you use 3a, multiply by each item inside this bracket. Okay, and you get 412 AC minus 9 AD. Okay, actually it's here, okay? And then you use 2b multiplied by each item inside the bracket, and you get 8BC minus 3BD. And double check, is there any like terms? No. Then this is the final result. Okay. So similarly, let's do this one. Take the first item, multiply by the second bracket, you get this one. And the second item in the first bracket, multiply by the second bracket, you get this one. And then you take away the bracket. So 5x multiplied by 3x, 15x squared, 5x plus multiplied by 4, 20x, and then 2 multiplied by 3x, 6, negative 6x, negative 2 multiplied by 4, negative 8. And this time you got like term. 20x minus 6x, they are like term. The result is 14x. So this is the final result. Okay. So far we talked multiplication of monomials and also multiplication of polynomial with polynomial. Now let's do the division. So first we start with division of monomials. Remember, monomials only have one item. So let's do the 24x squared. 24x squared, this is a monomial, divided by, negative 6x, this is another monomial. Remember the numerical part, 24 and negative 6, we call numerical coefficient. And the variables, the x squared x, we call literal coefficient. So when you do division of monomials, you use their numerical coefficients, do the division. And then use literal coefficients, do the division. Okay, 24 divide -6 equal to -4. X squared divide x equal to x. So this is the final result. Okay. So this is a division of a polynomial by a monomial. This is an example. Okay. First, you arrange this divide by the fraction format. This is the long line. And then each item on the top will be divided by the monomial, -3. So you get this item here. And next, do the -15a squared divided by -3a, you get this item. Last one, you do the -9a divided -3a, you get this one here. So this one should be here if you add them on the one line. And then you simplify each item. So the first item, 12a cubed divide -3a, it is a -4a squared. The second, -15a squared divide -3a, negative becomes positive. Okay, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. A squared divided a is 8. Lastly, negative divided by negative, always positive. So 9 divided 3 is 3, and a cancelled out. So next, let's look at substitution and evaluation. Evaluate 7x minus 3y minus 5 for x equal to -2, y equal to 3. Okay. Here you see the variable x, variable y. Okay. So when you substitute this, you just, instead of x, you use -2, plug in x here. And instead of y, you plug in 3, substitute here. You get this expression. Okay, and then you figure out the final result. This is another example about simplify an algebraic expression. Okay, so let's do this one together. So 7 multiplied by 4x squared, 20x squared. Then 7 multiplied by 3x, 21x. Next, 2 multiplied by 5x squared, 10x squared, plus 2 multiplied by x is 2x. Now let's check. Do we have like terms? Yes, 28x squared, 10x squared is the like term. So collect like term, you get 38x squared, 21x, 2x, like term, collect like term, you get 23x. So in summary, what we did in this lecture, we go over what is the natural numbers, like 1, 2, 3. The integers, it is a natural number plus 0, plus the negative whole numbers, -3, -2, -1. Okay. The rational numbers are number can be expressed by a ratio. Irrational numbers, number cannot be expressed by a ratio. And variable definition, you can use variable represent anything you want. Combine like terms. So if you have these terms, And you can combine them to, so x squared plus 3x squared, combine them into 4x squared. Rational expressions with variables. We did a lot about monomial, polynomial, the multiplication, division, etc. Okay, that's all for this lecture. Thanks for watching.